Let's see, they offer traditional, modern, and original folk and Celtic music with guitar, mountain dulcimer, banjo, and percussion, along with doing UU worship services like this. Here's a quote from Joanne Lessig of FolkNet, which is in Cleveland, Ohio. She says about February Sky, "I've had the delight of watching two longtime friends and musicians grow to be a duo. I've listened to Phil Cooper for years as part of a duo, trio, and ensemble. Phil's spouse Susan wrote wonderful songs, sang songs she found elsewhere, and became an even more deft musician through those years. Now they're a duo, February Sky, and the combination of Phil's incredible repertoire of very traditional song and tune, and Susan's singer-songwriter orientation, in addition of her skill with other instruments, have been blended into something very different than what either have done before. Same songs or tunes from previous repertoires, but a whole different flavor. Each time I see them, what they do gets tighter, deeper, more distinctive. Of course, it helps that both are thoughtful, generous people who like each other lots." And a special note is that they will have CDs available if you'd like to avail yourself of some of their music at coffee hour. Let's see. Susan, do you want me to mention for people to please feel free to sing?
Oh, sure, go ahead.
Please feel free to sing at any point in the service where you feel moved to do so, and that's why the song sheets are provided. They're also going to be reused at the concert, so we hope you don't fold them if they're not folded.
At another, possibly another
Yeah.
church with the same
Yeah.
service, but of course every church is different.
Yeah.
That's because we're UUs.
You could also have the song so you can see if you agree with the words or not.
That'll like any good Unitarian.
Yeah.
So they're on the pages that you have, and Susan, they are going to start with a prelude, Isabella Gunn by Eileen McGann.
All right, this song is based on the true story of the first European woman to travel to Rupert's Land, which is now part of Western Canada. My name is Isabella Gunn. I'm a woman both true and strong. From Orkney's rocky isles I come, and now listen unto my song. When I was
If there are any announcements this morning, please raise your hand and Steve will bring you a mic. We do ask that announcements be brief and relevant to church business. There's one from Gretchen in the corner.
This is an announcement from Reverend Dan, our minister, and he says that the joint Soul Matters small groups with the Poughkeepsie Fellowship will be forming soon, and we need lay facilitators. The Soul Matters small groups are intentional discussion groups designed to explore monthly themes in an intimate setting. No experience in Soul Matters is necessary. If you're one of the facilitators, you get to choose a time that works for you. And you get to say up front what the style and rules of the group are, within reason, of course. Oh, the power. So please get with Dan if you can be a co-facilitator on Soul Matters.
One way up here in the corner.
I'm Nina Ovitz, and two needs for volunteers. One is we still need a couple more volunteers for the nursery. See me afterwards if it's anything you can come in even as a sub. It would be very helpful. The other one is the personal care ministry. We work together with other churches in Jackson once a week to provide personal care and cleaning supplies to anyone in Jackson County. And I need one or two more volunteers from our church. I know a lot of you have done it, and you're so busy now and other things have happened. So I'm looking for some new people, like Doug has already volunteered. Yay, Doug. Thank you.
We welcome all those who come seeking a spiritual home among us. If you happen to be a first-time visitor, we'd love to get to know you. Please be sure to pick up a welcome folder and stay for conversation after the service during our social hour. We also want to welcome our online participants and encourage you to introduce yourself in the comments section. In the spirit of fellowship, care, and connection, I encourage every member and friend to speak with at least one person that they do not know or know well before leaving here today. This is how we will continue to build the beloved community we seek. And to start those conversations off, please take a moment now to greet the people around you. I do hope we'll continue these conversations after the service. Now, let us enter into worship together. Gretchen, if you could put the chalice lighting slide up, it's at number 4, there we go. It's A Flame to Light Our Path by Deborah Burrell, chosen by Susan. Fire consumes and casts a bright light. May our chalice flame consume our regrets for the past, our fears about the future, and our worries about today. May it light for us a path of joy and peace. Now, Susan.
All right, our opening congregational song is on the sheet inside your order of service. It's called Ella's Song, and Bernice Reagan Johnson, who was part of Sweet Honey in the Rock, wrote this song for a woman who was a tireless civil rights worker and a worker for women's rights. And we're just gonna, for accompaniment, we're just gonna do a hand clap and Please help me, because my hands get to hurting after a while if I do it all by myself. You'll pick up the beat. If you don't, well, hey, you know. And we will do the refrain after each verse because it gets stronger and stronger as we go through. Usually I don't do that because it takes up too much time, but not for this song. You kind of got it. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. Now you. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. Until the killing of black men, black mother's son, is as important as the killing of white men, white mother's son. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. Verses are pretty much the same melody. Don't be afraid to sing. And that which touches me most is that I have the chance to work with people, passing on to others that which is passed on to me. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. For me, young people first, they have the courage where we fail. And if I could shed some light as they carry us through the day, we believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. The older I get, the better I know that the secret of my going on. And the finger in the hand of the young you get, the rod against the sword. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. Not needing a clutch for power, not needing a light just to shine on me. I need to be just one in the number as we stand against tyranny. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. Struggling myself, but doesn't mean a whole lot as I come to realize that teaching others to stand up and fight is the only way my struggle survives. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. I'm a woman who speaks in a voice, and I must be heard. At times I can be quite difficult, and I'm loud in no man's word. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. We believe in freedom and our rest. We believe in freedom and our rest until it comes. Oh, that was wonderful. Have your hair standing up on the arms there. Our opening words this morning are dual ones because I couldn't find one that said everything that I wanted it to. And they're by author Joyce Maynard and screenwriter Diablo Cody. First, women writers have been told forever that our stories were not valuable. Not as valuable as men's stories about wars, business, and power. And from Ms. Cody, Somebody asked me earlier if I thought it was really important to tell stories about women's struggles, and I said yes. But at the same time, it's also important to tell stories about women's triumphs, women being slackers, women being criminals, women being heroes. All right, do we have any young folks here this morning? Children?
Young at heart counts.
Young at heart counts. Okay, well, there's some shakers up here. Little ones and big ones, a couple of big ones. If you're fast, you can get a big one. The little ones don't make all that much noise, but what that means is that if you think you're doing it wrong, which you kind of can, no one will hear it but you, so.
Anybody else want to come up and get a shaker or have me hand you one?
Hands up. Don't be shy.
All right. I know my musical friends here.
Now, this one has an easier rhythm than Ella's song. By the classic and wonderful feminist songwriter Peggy Seeger, who wrote I Want to Be an Engineer. An engineer in England means something different from what it does here. It's kind of like civil engineer or that kind of thing. But we're not doing that song today. That was one that I looked at. His father, better than a mother. His sister, better than a brother. One time case, one time daddy. Does that make one sex better than the other? Ajax shoulders, move boulders, Helen's hips, launch ships. Opposites favor their opposite nature. Adam and Eva, fish and chips. The world needs us, so the world breeds us. From the end of to the little rhesus monkey. Every creature from the Anteater to the butcher has excuses. A dog don't sing, a bird don't bark. The witches don't sing, who or lark. Is black better than white? Is day better than night? Without either, there be neither. Nature gives us equal chances and get 'em. You shouldn't have to wear pants. You're not like moles, does or rabbits. We should control our social habits and things that turn us against each other, and don't learn us to be sister and brother. If her and him are indispensable, treatment similar is only sensible. Reason gives us the logical sequel. We're different and therefore equal.
We don't need to sing the children out today, so I'm going to launch into Joys and Sorrows and save your maracas to give back later. We pause now for a time to share the joys and sorrows of our lives. If you'd like to briefly share something going on in your life, please raise your hand and an usher will bring you a mic. If you're joining us on Facebook, please type your joy or concern in the comments section. Go ahead, Vicki.
Hello, my name's Wendy Snyder. First, I have a joy. My grandson was married yesterday. It was a beautiful wedding with one sad part. His mother was getting ready for the wedding and she fell and broke her pelvis.
Aww.
So that's, I need a candle for concern for her.
Yeah.
Please light a candle in memory of my dear friend Ann Holt's husband Bob, who passed away. And then I'd like to have you light a candle for Selena Taylor, who was here last week speaking, and she sent me an email that said, please thank the congregation for their support of me. I broke down and cried leaving that church and felt the love. I don't cry often, but I appreciated the support and the opportunity. If you're interested in helping her, she will be packing bags for her September giveaway, and I can let you know when that will be.
Hand up for you.
I'm Nina Ovitz, and some of you got an email with the chimes about Lori Athey. She suffered a heart attack on Friday afternoon. She was transferred from Chelsea to St. Joe's Hospital in Ann Arbor. Yesterday, she reported that her case is not urgent, but she will remain hospitalized and receive a heart catheterization on Monday, plus possible stents. We have a card to sign for her, and I'm going to take it to her this afternoon. She really wants everybody to know, and I think she'll be really happy when she sees the card. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Patty, and I am a relative of Sharon, and I'm here from Victoria, British Columbia, with my partner Donnie, and I'm full of joy that I can be here with you today.
And to echo on that, I had a back-to-back fun time this past weekend. We had the Pride Fest on Saturday. Lug Nuts followed with beautiful fireworks, and then my grandniece, Julie, Aunt Patty's granddaughter, got married on Sunday, so we got to have a lot of family around in Tecumseh that day, and I got to introduce my sweetheart Barb to lots of folks who were assembled for the wedding.
I'm Peg Basin, and a lot of you know that I go and read to Joyce Kelly every Wednesday. And she was telling me that a few weeks ago they came around in a nursing home to do a questionnaire, and they asked everybody if they were depressed. So Joyce Kelly said, "No, of course not. Look at all these cards I have on the wall. Look at all the cards on the door from my church friends and my family and the people who love me and care for me. How could I possibly be depressed?" Even though she, of course, has been lying on her back for 4 years without moving. However, this last week when I went in to visit her, she did seem down. And, but it wasn't long before I had her laughing, and that joy is just right there beneath the surface. You know, it's always, she's got that residual resistance to sorrow. She will lift you up if you visit her. But she was sad because she hasn't had a card in a while. So I'm asking everyone to please go home, find an old card or just a plain note, whatever you got, stick a stamp on it and send it to Joyce Kelly in Spring Arbor. And I have her address if you need it. Thank you very much.
So my name's Monica Day, and a couple of items. One is I understand that Betty, let's see, yeah, Betty Dalla, she's 103, and she has been a great supporter of the environment. I was reached out to by a friend that she was in need of additional care. I'm not sure of the details, but I just wanted to let y'all know in case, Betty. Maybe she's declining a little bit, and needed additional nursing care. And then I was inspired to say something with the other candle that was lit. My dad, who I think is my favorite person in the world, he mentioned a few weeks ago when I saw him that he was sorry he couldn't make it out. He was just not feeling like he should be in the car traveling at all. He said, don't tell anybody about it. I said, well, I called him a few days later, maybe you should see a doctor, what do you think? And he did, and long story short, this week he had a scope and 90% blockage for his heart. Not sure which arteries or all the arteries or whatever, but he is definitely slowed down. So he will be getting 7 stents over the course of the next few weeks. He also went through chemo and everything with cancer. I never mentioned it to y'all. It was a couple years ago, but he's a very private person, and so anyway, he's been, dealing with a lot of health stuff, and I thought I should let y'all know, and we can let him. Thanks.
I am Cecily Savick. I have kind of an ancient friendship with Linda Marks, and she invited me to help her usher at, of all places, the Purple Rose Theater. So I'll be there Wednesday, Sharon. And I'm inviting the rest of you in case you ever go there in Chelsea.
It's a great show that goes through September 2nd, is all.
Hi, Debbie Hartsuff. I just wanted to report that Bob Sexton had his knee surgery and is doing well. He's getting rehab. And the other person I want a candle for was my Aunt Ruth Davis. She used to attend here. She has congestive heart failure and was in the hospital the last week, so.
Such a joy that we have all our candles full, but we light a symbolic final candle for any joys or sorrows that are too new to share or too private. Knowing that some of the most deeply felt sorrows and exuberantly felt joys lie unspoken in some hearts here today. Now I'll ring the bell for a few moments of silence and ring it again when we come back together. Our offering will now be given and received in grateful appreciation of this community of shared hopes and values. The social mission designee for this quarter is Planned Parenthood of Jackson. Please give by using the donate button on our website or by contributing with a check to Jackson Planned Parenthood in the memo if you wish to designate a donation to them specifically. We'll have a musical interlude while the offering is being collected. Misha on the Stairs by Susan Urban.
So, now we elder feminists who find ourselves in the unexpected position of living in a time and place where there is a movement afoot to once more define women as inferior and subject to the whims of men. This movement appears to be spearheaded by older men who never did get on board with women's equality, along with younger men who think it would be nifty to be able to dominate women and commit sexual assault with impunity. Quote from a 14-year-old at Newberry High School: "Women have no rights." 2 years ago. Sadly, there does appear to be some women who are going along with this as well. But the mistake they made was to try to do it before those of us who remember what it was like before have all died out. We fully understand the frustration of having our choices in life limited and our bodies open to violation. So on January 21st, 2017, older women joined with younger women to whom we have transmitted our stories, along with many men who support them, in demonstrations all around the world to say, no, we will never go back. On October 2nd, 2021, another march took place in support of women's reproductive rights. As Unitarian Universalists who covenant to affirm and promote the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and are part of a religious tradition that has long supported equal rights for women, we continue to stand in solidarity with those millions of marchers today. As a female songwriter who has never been willing to stick with the safe feminine topics of relationship songs and baby songs, I can tell you that even in the folk scene, there is a perception that female songwriters are not as good as male songwriters. In addition, women folk artists are woefully underbooked at major festivals and better concert venues. They are also often shamed for writing strong, graphic songs about social issues, whereas men are not. Eileen McGann, who wrote today's opening song, once referred to the folk scene as babes in boyland. She also told us that the major festivals stopped booking her when she turned 40. There does tend to be a subtle difference between the songs men write and the songs women write. I will leave it to you to figure out what those subtle differences are. However, I wonder sometimes if the women's songs are seen as inferior simply because they are often about the lives of women, which somehow don't seem to count as much as the lives of men. Today, we have chosen songs by a few among the legion of great women songwriters that tell of the strength, vision, and courage of women. My remarks on each one will be brief, since they mostly tell the full story on their own, although in some cases a bit of background information is valuable. And yes, we are going to get a little strident here today, because unfortunately that has once more become necessary. In case you didn't know, women marching for equality have always been maligned by some as loud, uncouth, and unfeminine. But in the end, we prevailed, and we will do so again. We start with a song about women and armaments, written by our dear friend Catherine Morski on the occasion of her then 17-year-old daughter, Caitlin, having been given a sword. The SCA refers to the Society for Creative Anachronism, folks who reenact the Middle Ages not as they were, but as they should have been. The reference to Nancy is about Nancy Reagan, the late wife of the former president, who once said she carried a little bitty pistol in her purse. This one's got a chorus that's really fun to sing in. I used to be like Nancy, little pistol in my purse. Nothing used to freak me out, getting worse and worse and worse. So I studied karate, studied taekwondo, till I picked up this tip from my good friend Joe. He said, and don't mess with chicks with swords. Drunkards are rebels, punks are lords. Everything they might lose before the naked afford. Men don't mess with chicks with swords. I tried out my new sword and took a walk in the dark. Got stopped by a punk with a knife in the heart. I had one of the better times of my life when I drew out my sword and said, "You call that a knife?" Men don't mess with chicks with swords. Drunkards are rebels, punks are lords. They're afraid they might lose more than they can afford. Men don't mess with chicks with swords. So walking all alone now, I really got it made. But I have to admit, it's a two-edged blade. It keeps all the jerks away, it's true. But the sad thing is, good guys are on too. 'Cause men don't mess with chicks with swords. Drunkards are rebels, punks are lords. They're afraid they might lose more than they can afford. Men don't mess with chicks with swords. Well, I met a fellow just the other day. He said he was in something called the SCA. Imagine my surprise when the talk turned to swords and he said, "I'll show you mine if you'll show me yours." Chicks with swords. La 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 la. Do 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 Well, I used to be like Nancy, little pistol in my purse. But the news would freak me out, getting worse and worse and worse. So I studied karate, studied taekwondo, till I picked up this tip from my good friend Joe. He said, "And don't mess with chicks with swords. Drunkards are rebels, punks are lords. They're afraid they might lose more than they can afford. Men don't mess with chicks with swords. No, men don't mess with chicks with swords." Caitlin is now almost 40 and is the mother of two beautiful daughters who she's raising to be feminists too. Women tend to be fiercely protective of their children, even to the point of sacrificing their own lives and/or freedom. There are a number of modern songs written by women about sisters who committed murder and/or murder-suicide to protect the child from an abusive husband or partner. This one is by Zoe Mustard, a marvelous writer who is also known for songs entitled "The President Sang Amazing Grace" and "Life is Too Short to Fold Underwear." Bye, Earl. Heidi Muller wrote 32 pairs of shoes about Helga Espy. Helga, born in 1860, was a suffragist who believed that women could do anything that men could do. It's not clear who the sponsor of her and her daughter Clara's walk across the country was. It's possible that the sponsor used the excuse of Helga and Clara supposedly arriving late to justify not paying them because they never had the money in the first place, and made the wager because they never expected Helga and Clara to finish the 4,000-mile walk. Their story was reconstructed by means of newspaper stories that were written about Helga and Clara as they made their way across the country.
Who's in your spot?
Helga Espy came from Norway, married at 16 years, built a sod house on the prairie, learned to persevere. She and Ollie moved to Spokane, 10 children later, working wild. Then an injury crippled Ollie, with a mortgage to be paid, and $10,000 was the wager to prove a woman's strength. Walk the country to New York City, go the entire length. Helga and Clara walked for 7 months through heat, storm, and danger, and didn't turn back once. 4,000 miles, we can do this. 32 pairs of shoes. They arrived in late December, but the payout was refused. They missed the deadline 3 days late. It would not be excused. Stranded penniless by Christmas Day, try as they would, they on those miles we remember. 32 pairs of shoes on those miles everlasting. 32 pairs of shoes. In 1977, a decision by one Judge Archie Simonson of Madison, Wisconsin, led to his recall as a result of a rape case over which he presided. He had sentenced a 15-year-old boy to 1 year of home supervision after he pled no contest in the gang rape of a girl in their high school stairwell. More than the sentence, it was the comments made by Judge Simonson that led to his recall. He claimed that the boys had behaved normally in reaction to the revealing clothing worn by girls. When challenged by a female prosecutor who said she found his remark sexist, Judge Simonson replied, "You bet it is. I can't go around walking exposing my genitals like they can the mammary glands." Outrage ensued, and feminist networks in the area led the response. The local branch of the National Organization for Women convened a meeting at a women's bookstore. The feminist singer-songwriter Melvina Reynolds, who happened to be performing in Madison, wrote and immediately recorded the judge said. Leaders of the recall focused on the judge's remarks, and their efforts succeeded. The only woman running to replace Judge Simonson was elected. The judge said, "Screw 'em, boys, you're only human. They brought it on themselves by being born a woman. Like a mountain's there to climb, and food's there to be eaten. Woman's there to rape, to be shoved around and beaten." The judge took his position, the judge he wouldn't budge. So we got out this petition, and we're gonna screw the judge. Now if you beat a horse or dog or violate a bank, Simonson will haul you in and throw you in the tank. But violate a woman, you're equal and you're peer. The judge will slap you on the wrist and lay the blame on her. The judge took his position, the judge he wouldn't budge. So we got out this petition, and we're gonna screw the judge. To draw a true conclusion from what Simonson has said, woman has to live in fear and cover up her head. She has to dress in porta and lock herself in cages. And this kinky judge in Madison is from the Middle Ages. The judge took his position, the judge he wouldn't budge. So we got out this petition, and we're gonna dump the judge.
do our traditional closing and then have you be available if you'd like to play 2 more tunes for people who can stay. Is that okay with you?
Well, we have a congregational for people to sing on,
Okay,
and then we have the closing song, so.
yeah. Just, I know some people are traveling today, so
okay.
can we pick one of those then and do that together?
Yeah,
I'm
that's,
sorry about that.
well, let's do Rosa Parks then.
Thank you.
All right, well, Rosa Parks was a black woman who jump-started the civil rights movement by refusing to give up her seat to a white man on the Montgomery, Alabama city bus in 1955. The leaders of the local black community organized a bus boycott that began the day Rosa was convicted of violating the segregation laws. The boycott lasted more than a year, during which Parks, not coincidentally, lost her job, and it ended only when the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that bus segregation was unconstitutional. So, we know you probably don't know this song, but it isn't difficult, so you pick it up real quick. First verse and chorus, and then we'll go back, jumping in your comfortable. In Montgomery, Alabama, not a long time ago, a colored lady sat down on a bus. She was tired, she did day work, she scrubbed floors her feet hurt, and since that day she changed the world for us. As she said, "No, sir, I won't get up. I'm tired and I want to sit down and I won't get up. You can talk about Martin Luther King, have demonstrations, anything, but remember who began Rosa Parks." Back to the top. In Montgomery, Alabama, not a long time ago, colored lady sat down on the bus. She was tired, she did day work, she scrubbed floors her feet hurt, and since that day she changed the world for us. Because she said, "No, sir, I won't get up, I won't get up. I'm tired and I want to sit down and I won't get up. You can talk about Martin Luther King, have demonstrations, anything, just remember who began it, Rosa Parks." Awesome. Now in this wide and wicked world, tell me what kind of man would say to the next old lady, better get up. Well, she was just like me and you, and she did what she could do, and she said, "No, sir, I won't get up." And she said, "No, sir, I won't get up, I won't get up. I'm tired and I want to sit down and I won't get up. You can talk about Martin Luther King, have demonstrations, anything, but remember who began it, Rosa Parks." Well, now one day the South will rise and the North will realize who our heroes really truly 'cause she said, no, sir, I won't get up, I won't get up. I'm tired and I want to sit down and I won't get up, I won't get up. You could talk about with your king at demonstrations, anything. Just remember we can't close the hearts.
I'll say our closing words. I'll collect the shakers, and I think Susan and Bill can wrap up what they want to do with their closing words in Secretary while I do that, and anybody who needs to leave can leave.
Yes.
Thank you. I invite you to join in extinguishing our chalice. The words are on the screen. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
All right, well, our closing words are from Melvina Reynolds, who wrote, the judge said, anyone who puts his or her talent and effort toward changes for the better has tremendous muscle, much more than the negative people do. The destructive powers do, because they have history on their side, and they have the desires of the people on their side, so they really can be very powerful with not all that much effort. If you work for change, you can't be desperate, even if the situation is difficult. Besides the fact that it's good for the cause, it's good for you too, because you become part of a community that is working for change, and that's a very healthy thing. You're not just grousing and complaining, but you're working, and that will take away your blues. I wrote Sacagawea to honor the woman who guided the Lewis and Clark expedition, and also to remind all of us how short a time ago women were chattel. We will never go. On my desk sits a card of a bright golden hue. On its face is a mother and her baby too. It was issued the year when the century turned, but nobody uses them now. Sacagawea guided Lewis and Clark on the journey on which those two men did embark. Over 3,000 miles she traveled with them. No white men had been there before. If it weren't for her, they'd not made those days when this woman